Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to Moneycontrol. I'm Karunya Rao. This is Manisha Gupta and tis the season to be jolly, I guess. I don't know if we're in the Christmas mood or in the mood of the markets right now,
wearing
all red.
red, yes.
Yeah. But let's talk about what's happening in the commodity space, and because it is the season of festivals and merrymaking, sugar is also making equal merry, and it has been doing that for quite some time now, and now it's at a 5-year high.
It is the raw sugar prices, and the reason the raw sugar prices have been rising is because that is what the markets are demanding, and India for one does not export so much raw sugar. We do white more because that is more lucrative, has a better margin, and there is raw sugar shortage in the international markets, and is the reason you saw the prices run up above 20 cents a pound as well, and we are looking at strong gains in white sugar prices because of that.
But current quarter, we know, and everybody knows that the consumption tends to go up.
Yes.
Christmas, no Christmas, but even winter season is something you want to have more carbs and more mithais and all of that, more sweet and desserts. But are other accompaniments also rallying, like the likes of cocoa, coffee, and perhaps tea as well?
Oh yes, they are. When you look at coffee and tea, both of these commodities actually are closing this year in the negative, but not so for cocoa. Cocoa is trading at a 4-week highs as well, and as you said, this is a quarter where you see big demand come into the markets. Let me tell you for cocoa later, but for sugar, this is a price which is not bothered by inflation. This is a demand that is also not so bothered about inflation, especially in this quarter, because we are looking at a very strong demand coming in. And for the Indian markets, even as 6 million tons of export quota has been allotted, India has exported just about 1 million tons until now. A lot has been contracted, but because it was contracted at a lower level and the sugar prices internationally have run up now, so a lot of mills are right now negotiating these prices, and you perhaps will get it too because there is no sugar. Brazil is between harvest, Thailand production is lower, Europe crop is also lower, and Europe is itself looking for importing sugar.
Yeah.
So whichever way that you look.
So it's win-win-win for Indian mills and Indian sugar exporters. So at this juncture, would one say it's a better idea to place your money in the commodity or in the company stocks of sugar?
I think the sugar prices, for one, in the Indian markets, you don't have a trading bet right now. So a lot of Indian sugar companies also are hedging outside because the sugar as a commodity to hedge in the Indian market is suspended right now.
Okay.
So 21st December is the deadline when that 1 year completes, and you might be looking at the contract
it's
coming back.
Corner,
it's around the corner. But until then, the global sugar prices continue to run up, and so do the Indian sugar stocks as well. Today, as I'm assuming, 4 to 8% up, even higher for many of those companies.
The past 1 week has been quite sweet for the sugar company stocks. What happens after this quarter is done? It's just like in the next 2 weeks, December quarter will be over. Okay, maybe we can see some more demand in Jan, Feb as well ahead of Valentine's Day. I mean, whoever is celebrating that and whoever is, augmenting their demand on the back of that. But what happens after these 2-3 months? Will the demand be as strong?
So there are 2 to 3 things to watch out here for. So one is your Christmas and New Year demand, that is in this month itself. Then you have the Chinese New Year demand in the month of Jan, and as you mentioned, the Valentine demand in the month of Feb, and that also is a big business, by the way, chocolates and all things sugar. And then the food secretary yesterday has said, and this also has been quite supportive, he said that since we are looking at higher sugar production this time around, the companies should focus on refined sugar and specialty sugar.
Okay.
So this is what the international markets took cues from as well. And then the food secretary also said that for the extension of the export quota, that would only come in by the month of Jan. So clearly for 1 more month, they want to see on what kind of sugar production are we looking at, and then take a call from that. Remember, this year the harvest was late, the sugar crushing season began slightly late as well, so everything is slightly delayed, and that perhaps is where the sugar secretary is also, food secretary is also coming in from, and markets are taking cue from that.
Well, right now you're being the sugar secretary, advocating so much about sugar. But early this year, I mean, we were telling everyone that sugar prices are on a tear and this is a good time to cut back on your sugar consumption. But clearly, nothing has happened, and the demand seems to only be going up.
Oh, well, absolutely. And when you look at the international numbers, the chocolate demand, the chocolate consumption as well continues to increase, and sugar is a big part of that. We all know a bar of chocolate on how much cocoa there is, how much milk solids, and how much sugar you have. So I think it just tends to be a bigger part of that. The demand is on the stronger side, with the expectation that the next quarter will be on the stronger side as well. And then even with or without sugar, the ethanol story seems to be playing so well. I think whichever way that you look, if you are holding sugar stocks, I think you should just about continue to hold them.
And make merry. Tis the season to be jolly.
All right.
At least for sugar traders and sugar stock owners and shareholders. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.